ripples in the fabric of space stretch and squeeze long lasers, and the motion is recorded with subatomic precision. In this age, gravitational wave astronomy has been nearly perfected. Telescopes are linked to every detector so that every wave detected can be traced back to its host galaxy. These observatories are positioned all over the globe. There they wait and listen. On July 2nd, every detector on Earth is hit with thousands of waves. All of them are bizarre beyond belief. Their pattern cannot be attributed to any black hole, neutron star, or any other natural phenomena. The waves are violent and sporadic, and strangest of all, instead of lasting for a fraction of a second like usual, these waves lasted for minutes. Are the detectors broken? Are we wrong about black hole mergers? Was Einstein wrong? Scientists begin to examine the signals. They find that every signal has many duplicates. In other words, if the detectors on Earth were placed on concentric circles, all the detectors on the outermost circle would receive the same signal at the exact same time, and then the inner circles would receive that signal. This suggested that somehow the same wave was coming from every direction. Such a confusing array of signals made it very difficult to find the host galaxy from which the signal came. A few days passed as the scientific community waited on the edge of their seats. Then the news sprang. We found the galaxy. As the scientists looked at it, they noticed that it was completely normal. No bright spots, no residual X-ray flashes, nothing that would suggest a major gravitational event had just happened. What then caused the waves? What was going on in that distant galaxy? Long baseline interferometry is a method of synchronizing telescopes separated by great distances in order to mimic one large lens with the aperture equal to the distance between each telescope. The result is unprecedented resolution. While this method is normally used for radio waves, humans have now fully adapted it for visible light. These spaceships are setting up several interferometry telescopes around strategic points in the solar system. These points are called Lagrange points, and they exist wherever the gravitational pull of two large masses, like the Moon and the Earth, precisely equals the centripetal force required for an object to move with them. For example, an object at a Moon-Earth Lagrange point would rotate with both objects while staying at a very fixed position. In theory, the invariance of Lagrange points allows for a colossal interferometer. The one currently in construction has an aperture that is over 500,000 kilometers. When the machine is turned on, its first target is the mysterious galaxy responsible for the gravitational wave event on July 2nd. The telescopes turn towards their target and begin the exposure. The resulting images reveal the galaxy in incredible detail. The geometry and the motion of the spiral arms can be perfectly accounted for. Even the individual stars reveal themselves. And it's in this detail that the astronomers notice a striking feature. This galaxy looks oddly familiar. the debate rages on. Astronomers found that the architecture of this galaxy is identical to our Milky Way in every aspect. So is its composition. There are those who claim that this is a twin of the Milky Way, a galaxy that is, by coincidence, similar in every way. Then there are those who claim something greater. Albert Einstein showed the world that space is not the stage on which the theater of the universe takes place. Instead, space is a character in the play. Space can bend, warp, and take on complex geometries. From this revelation, it's natural to ask the question, what is the shape of the universe? There are three possible answers. The universe could be flat, it could have no curvature and be indefinitely big. The universe could also have negative curvature, be shaped like a saddle, and also be indefinitely big. But a more interesting idea is that the universe has positive curvature. Unlike the other two, in a positively curved universe, space is not infinite. It curves back to itself and therefore is necessarily finite. The universe would be a sphere. Then, like walking around the Earth, light in positively curved space circles around the entire universe and ends up where it started. The majority of astronomers who look at this mysterious galaxy say that it is the Milky Way. We are staring at our own galaxy, hundreds of millions of years in the past. Its light has gone full circle and returned to us. The universe has given us an incredible time machine. To verify this claim, a campaign is immediately launched to determine the shape of space by measuring the angles light makes when it bounces around the cosmos. Previous campaigns have been launched, and they all recorded a flat universe. Now, the methods of those scientists are being called into question, and a whole new experiment is being set up. The result immediately makes history. Our universe is a sphere. The image of the Milky Way is dubbed the memory, and it becomes the most well-studied object in physics. Supercomputer simulations reverse the orbit of the Sun to find its position at the time of the memory. The interferometer then locks its sight on a yellow dwarf. And finds 8 planets. One of which orbits at a distance of exactly 1 astronomical unit, the ancient Earth. A second gravitational wave event. This one much more powerful than the last. Again, the waves are sporadic and do not resemble any black hole or neutron star. Astronomers locate the host galaxy, and again, it's the memory. The curiosity among scientists is palpable. Why was our galaxy producing massive gravitational waves hundreds of millions of years ago? After a few weeks of non-stop work, the international community of astronomers devises a method to pinpoint the exact spot on the memory where the gravitational wave originated. They pinpoint a stellar neighborhood on the Orion Arm, about 26,000 light-years from the galactic center. The result freezes astronomers in their place. That stellar neighborhood contains the Sun. They look deeper and converge on a spot next to the Sun, or more precisely, 1 astronomical unit away from the Sun, the Earth. Those gravitational waves came from the Earth. Following the discovery that our planet was the source of the 2 massive gravitational wave events, scientists fall into a stupor. But they don't have much time to recover before they get another game-changing announcement from the observatory. The gravitational wave had an electromagnetic counterpart. Scientists felt relieved. They thought they might find emission lines from some kind of stellar remnant collision, and the mystery would be solved. But when they looked at the data, the mystery just deepened. The radiation was entirely microwaves, and no emission lines were recognized. Astronomers realized that if this radiation had traveled around the universe, the expansion of the universe would stretch the light, a phenomenon called cosmological redshift. If the light was to be decoded, the redshift had to be undone. When scientists finished correcting for this, they found that all the light fell into the visible spectrum. The scientists were struck. What phenomena produces solely visible light? Then, one astronomer pointed out that there were microsecond gaps in the signal, almost as if they were packages of radiation. She also noted that every package was comprised of photons with identical wavelengths. Furthermore, there were a total of 8 million packages exactly. No more, no less. Whatever produced this signal, it wasn't natural. Of the many thoughts that one has following the revelation that this signal most likely came from an extraterrestrial intelligence, the most noteworthy is, this must be an old message that passed by the Earth for the first time eons ago, before there were humans to receive it. But if this really was a message meant for other life forms in the universe, how can we understand what it says? The first helpful insight came from a computer scientist who recognized that the phrase 8 million packages of wavelengths sounds like another way to describe pixels in a high-quality display. What if, he posited, each package describes the color of a pixel, and together the packages form an image? A brilliant idea. Scientists quickly put his idea to the test and began building the image. Hundreds of people gathered in a meeting hall to reveal the final image for the first time. This was the result. Not much of an image. As disappointment spread in the form of silence, a voice spoke up from the corner of the room. It said, if you are sending a message to a variety of life forms, then you can't assume the way they process color. So maybe instead each wavelength describes the darkness of a pixel, so the image is black and white. The room went into an uproar of excitement as a few scientists ran to their computers to change the program. After an hour of nail-biting anticipation, there was an announcement. It's not one image. It's 120 images. The first, an image of the Earth, the supercontinent Pangaea on full display. Then, pictures of the other 7 planets, and the Sun. Then, an image of the Milky Way, with the Sun's orbit marked. Then, the location of our galaxy within the supercluster, somehow taken from outside the cluster itself. Then, an image of carbon-12. Then, an image of adenosine triphosphate, the molecule that our cells use for energy. Do they have the same biology as us? Then, an image of mitochondria, and an image of a ribosome. Incredible! Their cells are identical to ours. Then, an image of DNA, presumably theirs. Then a diagram of a section of their DNA. Then, the most shocking image of all, a diagram of the evolution of their species. Their most recent ancestor was a Jurassic-era cephalopod. The next images are descriptions of an Einstein tensor, but unlike anything ever seen before. Then, an image of what we can only assume is some kind of machine on top of the tensor. It's thought that the next 96 images describe where they are going, but we will never understand where this is. Wherever they are going, it is incomprehensible to the human mind, as the pictures provided were essentially nonsense to us. But that is not the takeaway. What is clear from these images is that these life forms are not aliens to Earth. They are from the Earth. They evolved here long before humans. They built a civilization, and over 100 million years ago, they decided to leave. Their ships, so advanced that they toy with the shape and size of space itself, allowing near-instant travel. But as a side effect, they create massive gravitational waves, ripples in the fabric of space. Eons later, these waves would return to Earth, where they would be observed by us. The message they sent us, as they left, is clearly not meant for humans. It is a notice to the rest of the universe. This is who we are, and this is where we are going. Perhaps the true fate of a civilization is not to colonize the galaxy, but something else that we cannot even begin to imagine. Where did they go? We will never understand because, as the universe goes, we are not intelligent life forms. This is not even our planet, and we are not the true Earthlings. They are Earthlings. We are just the mold that grew while they were gone.